All right.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this
Oh,
week's episode of Sock Talks with Joy and Sean with a lot of gratitude built in. So we're happy to have
GMC,
you here
copyright
today.
not ready.
Huh?
Gratitude Movement Club. Gratitude Movement Club. Just don't call
Gratitude
us
movement.
GMC.
Good. Anyways, glad to have you guys here today on this weekend before Mother's Day. By the way, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. And we got a lot going on, Sean, don't we? I'm just
We
super
do.
excited about
Well, first
everything
thing,
that's
if
happening.
you should put a Facebook post out today and tomorrow, if you didn't get your mom a Mother's Day card, I can I can show you a way to do one immediately.
Yeah, and you know what?
And an
There's
act.
beautiful, hey, guys, if you haven't seen it, there's beautiful graphics out there. The company put together a bunch of graphics for
Yep.
it. Go grab them
Yep.
and use them and get them
Yep.
out there.
Anyway,
So, and even after Mother's Day, there's going
I
to be a lot
like that
of
move.
pictures. Even after Mother's Day, there's going
Woo!
to be a lot of pictures that are going to be great acts to send out to people. So just,
I,
you know,
I feel like you're my fairy godmother now with that
yeah, I
move.
know, I know.
Wow. Okay.
Kathy Peterson, this is
You're
you,
getting a
huh?
gratitude.
So awesome, awesome. So, anyways, Sean and I talked a little bit before we turned the record button on here. And Sean, I think you have a lot to share. Some things that came to your mind this week
Yeah.
and
And I
how we
can't
can
believe you
relate it.
didn't have record on. Gosh.
We didn't record, so here we
So,
are,
so I told
Sorry, this
Joy,
is take two.
I last week I went to a luncheon, a network luncheon, and former Navy SEAL who was a commander had three teams under him. I mean, got to one of the highest levels. And at some point he mentioned this quote that you never rise to the occasion, you always fall back on your training or the level of your training. You always fall back to the level of your training. I'm like, okay, I've heard that. Yeah. And he on to kind of expand on that. And I'm like, cool. And he was great. Dynamic speaker, had some great stuff. And then, so that was lunchtime. And then in late afternoon, I'm hitting videos and Ryan Day, the Iowa State Buckeye coach, is doing a press conference. And damn if he doesn't say the same exact quote. You know, we rise to the occasion. We we never rise to the occasion. We fall back on the level of our training. So in my mind, all right, what's somebody trying to tell me? Because then I went back to, you know what, after Connecticut women's basketball team won the championship, their coach, Gino Oriamo, I think Oriamo, said, look, if you practice here, you're never going to play here. So same concept. He goes, we practice here to hope to play here. So you're never going to go beyond where you're practicing. And I'm thinking, and so that woke me up. So I'm like, oh, well, okay, good. Yeah. So something's telling me something. So I'm the education coordinator. So at 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday, bam, hello, hello. Hey, you heard that quote twice. What is it trying to tell you? I'm like, oh my God, I already have something for this week. So I switched it. I'm like, I guess I'm going to do this. So it's easy in the military. Don't take that the wrong way. Easy in the military, easy in a sports team to practice more than they play. I mean, practice is the majority of a basketball, football, baseball than the actual playing time. Military, doing drills and everything to get ready to go in combat. Hopefully they don't have to, but if they have to, they're ready and they're prepared. In business, we can't practice more than we do whatever we do, or we would all go broke. So it just got me thinking, like, how does that pertain to us? What could we be doing? And we could be listening to the Monday night calls. We could read promptings. We could read Beach Money. We could read other books that have been recommended to us because we're in a shift where we're getting away from kind of the affiliate customer. Let me rephrase that. We are getting away from that where we're really focusing on being a network marketing company. And for a lot of you, if you've only been here for a short time, you've never seen that side of this from Cody, from the leaders talking about recruiting and building teams, because truly that's where the wealth is in network marketing. So you're going to have to do things differently. And I know that's uncomfortable. And we were on the Eagles Nest call yesterday, and 3 or 4 times he said, we have to expand our vision. If you don't think you can bring people on and build a team, then guess what? You never will.
Mhm.
So what kind of practice can you be doing to get better, to be more comfortable so you can do those things. And it is plugging into everything we do. Thursday night next week, if you're not comfortable bringing people on, I'd invite 100 people to that thing next Thursday. Let's crash the Zoom thing. Well, let's hopefully not, but let somebody else help you. That's what that's for. And if you don't have an upline that's going to have one every week, find somebody that does, because I bet you, I mean, my goal is to start one night a week and then have four others going every night and one on Saturday morning by someone else doing it. Can you imagine that? If you honestly jumped on and did something like that, we would have eagles popping by the end of the year, if not sooner, because it would exponentially grow. So our practice all of ours needs to elevate so we can play better. And again, it's through reading, it's through plugging into everything, finding an accountability partner, finding a coach within. If you're serious about growing a business, if you reach out to Callie, she will wholeheartedly meet with you once a week and hold you accountable and go over your numbers. So I just thought that's what somebody was tapping me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and most times when that happens, it is something that I'm wrestling with. And I think you, like me, that's what happens when you get awoken at 3. Awoken?
Yeah. You wake up that early.
At 3 o'clock in the morning. And unfortunately, I just watched another video it happens more as you get older. Oh, Christ. So for you youngsters, see what you got to look forward to.
Yeah.
So take it away.
Yeah, no, I want to say scale it down, but scale it down to the individual, what you do every day. We've got this super daily 8.
Absolutely.
But if you want to elevate your training, look at that thing and don't be satisfied that you didn't have an 8-day. Don't be satisfied that every day you're not getting those numbers down there. So maybe what you want to do is elevate yourself a little bit more. Maybe you want to say, instead of just sending 5 acts a day, give yourself a goal of 10. I'm not going to give myself 1 point on there until I do 10, or I'm not going to not have an 8. Even if that means getting on the phone with somebody right then and there and saying, hey, can you watch this video with me right now? Or reaching out to one of your team members, like, hey, who do you have for a 3-way? Let's get somebody on the phone. You're right. We haven't had this as a focus for a long time, I think there's 2 things that we all got to wrap our head around. And that's, number one, we're not just consultants for promptings. We're gratitude consultants, and there's nobody in the world that's a gratitude consultant.
Absolutely.
This is a new thing. This is a new position in the world, to be a gratitude consultant. I said, number 2 is and I love this, that was brought up on a Monday night call a couple weeks ago. It's like, we are the only network marketing company out there that what you spend your money on, you give away.
True. Yeah, I love that too. That was a great thing.
I love that, And, and I was sharing with you earlier that I'm actually going to do a training with a group coming up here next week. And as I go through the Be Show Share, or Be Share Show, and
She Share Show by the seashore. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And then when I get to the show part about showing other people, those are the 2 things I'm going to say to them, and I come to my table and I'll give you more details. I said,
you're right. Yep.
Yeah. Just come to my table, give me more details. Because I think both of those are things we need to grab on to and quit thinking. And because we see it, all the time, quit thinking somebody can't afford something or they're not looking for that.
Right.
We say all the time not to prejudge, but you know what? It's still
we do.
We do.
Or we have that mindset, like, you want to spend 117 and 247 and then the 49 to be a consultant. Okay, when I started, it was 390. There were 2 packages. There were no small. It was
right.
295 and 395, or 395 and 495. One was a customer and one was a distributor. Yeah. Everything else is the same. Yeah. So, and that was 20 years ago, $500.
Right.
So you're right. If you think people can't afford this, no one wants to do this in business, you're right. That's what you're going to attract. But if
that's your elevation of training. You're training
absolutely.
Your mind. Training your mind.
You're here and you're never going to get where if you're like, it's only $500 to have your own business. Oh my God, how cheap is that? Go check out a
Yeah,
franchise.
yeah,
What do you spend
yeah,
on franchise? And people spend that kind of money every day, all the time.
right. Yeah. And just like what they were saying on the Eagles Nest call, like it's like focus on that dream. Start your conversation with what they're looking for, what they want to do, what they want, all these other conversations are going to happen, you know, they're just going to happen. And I love what you said today, Sean. I love the idea that, you're only going to go as far as your training, no matter how much you read for the top. So you might as well reach for the top and, you know,
If your goal is Eagle or whatever, let me rephrase. If your goal is a certain dollar amount, or if it's a certain promotion, but you're here with your belief level, your training, you're never going to get there.
yeah,
And I would imagine if you talk to any leader, let's keep it industry any network marketing leader, they had to grow somewhere. They had to have better training. They had to grow, especially in here, on their belief that, I can do this.
yeah,
You heard Jordan. I'm sitting at a table with other leaders and they're just like me. And he said, I can do this.
yeah.
So, again, accountability partner, plugging into everything, reading other network marketing books, any other self-development books.
Hmm.
Because if there's a belief system like people can't afford it, then that's coming from you. Why do you believe that? You just sold a 3,000 card package. How much did that guy hesitate after you showed him the 3,000 card package?
Nothing. I mean, because he knew his
Clicked
vision.
up.
He had his vision.
Yep.
He knew what he wanted, and he knew how he could get it. And money was not the object.
Yep. It was a click.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
click.
You should have shown him the 10,000 card pack first, but
Yeah. He did ask if he can move up to that. I said, well, when you
absolutely.
want to do that right now?
I would say you purchase them on the first of every month, maybe. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly.
So yeah,
So
I hope that helps. I mean, I don't see us going away from the network marketing. Don't be scared of that. It is a great business model, and you never know. Like you said, don't prejudge because you just never know what someone's going through. That they might be looking for something like we have,
yeah,
and we have something unique that nobody else. You're right, Joy. That what we buy, we give away,
yeah, yeah.
and
And
we are gratitude
yeah,
consultants.
yeah, and it's when you look back, it's Sean, last year when we were at the leadership retreat in Asheville, and we had the conversation about the title, gratitude consultant, gratitude.
Right.
Everyone was like playing around with it. And I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, hey God, this is the right way to be.
Yeah.
So be
Yep.
proud of the fact that you are a gratitude consultant. Put that on everything because there's nobody out there that's a gratitude consultant.
And don't be afraid to tell people the right way to do cards, the energy it'll bring if they do it into their business, not just for their clients and employees, but the energy that they'll create within their business if they're grateful all the
Yep.
more times than not.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just you don't want to look back in 5 years and we've exploded again. We will, and we'll grow bigger than we ever did.
Mhm.
And you're like, I wish I would have given it more effort. Well, didn't think it was going to happen. Didn't think I could do it. Let's not be timid. Let's go out and get it. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
talking to myself.
I know. Okay, well, thank you, everybody.
Alrighty.
Happy Mother's Day, and we'll see you next week. Elevate, just remember your training.
Wait, train where you want to be. Training's got to be, above it,
Yeah.
really. So, and do the
And
mother. Woo!
see you, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks for
Bye bye.
tuning in. Bye-bye.